The first person we had watch the video didn't make it past the resistance stage. Resistance occurs when we attack the cultural practices of others or proclaim that our own culture traditions are superior. Ellie shows resistance by saying things such as gross, what is that, ew, and that's disgusting.
As you can see, Bryn's initial reaction to the video was one of shock and maybe some disgust. She didn't try to see that the bat eating was part of that particular culture. She was just caught up in how different it was than her own culture. This could be a manifestation of what Wood describes as resistance. However, thankfully by the end of the video, Bryn learned a little more about the particular practice of this culture, and she moved to the second stage of how Wood describes responding to culture, which is tolerance. Tolerance is when your judgments against other beliefs still exist, but you respect that differences in culture are okay, even if you don't agree with them or understand them. Bryn doesn't get to the point where she fully accepts the other culture's practice, but she is tolerant of it and even thinks it's a little interesting.
As a group, we all had very similar reaction to this film. In a way that by the end of the clip, we all reached an understanding on this cultural idea of eating bats. Although this foreign cuisine is much different from our own, we realize that this is simply their way of life, thus no longer holding judgment against this idea of eating this bat species. Opposition to ethnocentrism, we understood that although their life practice is very different from our own and this foreign idea, there is no such thing as a real normal culture, so we have no place to hold judgment.
The subject in this video was quick to resistance. After the narrator explains the delectable dish is bats, she furrows her brow and makes an ew noise, followed by, that's gross. She, like most of us, doesn't perceive eating bats as normal or delicious, like the people of Papua New Guinea. But as the video continues, we see a shift. At first, she questions, then her expression changes to one of tolerance with a hint of understanding. For the remainder of the video, the look on her face shows curiosity as she's starting to understand the traditions of the people and their hunting practices. After the video was over, the subject and I discussed her thoughts on the video. She said that while she doesn't find bats appetizing, she respects their tradition because it's how they provide for the people of their village.
Any thoughts on that?
I will not be eating bat, but I mean, tastes like chicken.